Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, then hi, my name is Ella. On this channel I kind of talk about school, I know, how exciting, and tips and advice I have for various different things. But in today's video I'm going to be talking about 9 things that I did to get straight 8s and 9s at GCSE. So if you haven't seen my GCSE results video where I talk about, for each subject, I basically got 8 9s, 1 A star and 1 8. So these are the tips that I did, or the habits that I did, that got me there. Obviously this is not like, do these things and you will definitely get there, but I really hope they can help you out, because I know I was watching tons of these types of videos when I was in year 10, year 11, so making one of my own is really quite cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So tip number 1 is consistency. Now you've probably heard the saying consistency is key, and that really applies to pretty much any GCSE subject. And what I mean by that is I kind of found little pockets of time here and there to make sure that my revision stayed consistent throughout the week, throughout the year. So for example, on the bus, I didn't really want to get on my textbooks and read, because I don't know, it's just a lot of effort. I can't be rummaging around my bag, it's already jam-packed full of stuff. What I would do instead is I'd use apps on my phone, and just for the half an hour that I was on the bus, I would say use Quizlet and learn some French. I made sure that it was consistent. I didn't do it every single day. Sometimes I just wanted to listen to music. But if I was feeling productive and I wanted to get stuff done, then using those little pockets of time to my advantage was really great. And that also means that you're not sitting down for hours and hours and draining yourself. Using those little pockets of time will really help you stay motivated, but also get a lot done. So another way of viewing that is focusing on the quality of your revision rather than quantity. So that half an hour of my French revision was really good quality, because it wasn't too long where my brain would just zone out. I was still really productive and getting through answers really quickly. If I was to do that for 2 hours straight at home, it would not be as, there wouldn't be as good quality. It wouldn't be as good quality revision, and I would just be doing it for the sake of it being large quantity. So short, consistent revision is often better quality than longer, drawn out revision sessions. Number 2, mindset, having an I can attitude. So I know that GCSEs can be really, really daunting, and you'll get home from the end of the day and you'll just feel really drained. But having an I can, or a growth mindset, I've talked about that previously, but specifically targeting the way you think. Start thinking, yes, I can do this, instead of, oh, I'd love to get that, or if I get this, or I wish I could get this. I said to myself, I can get a 9 in this subject, I can get an 8 in this subject, so I will get an 8, or I will get a 9. And one thing that really helped me is we got like mock results day. Kind of like after all of our mocks, we got given a sheet of paper which is, basically showed us exactly what we got in the mocks. But it was just to give us a feel of what it would be like on results day. And I pinned that sheet on my wall. So the sheet had all the grades that I'd achieved, and what I was predicted in the actual GCSEs. And because they were so close, a lot of them stayed the same. So if I got a 7 in a subject, I was predicted a 7. Some of them went up a little bit, and I was really happy with that. But I saw that sheet and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to change all the 7s to 8s, and I'm going to change all the 8s to 9s. I was fortunate enough to, I got 7s and 8s in my mocks, and I did get a few 9s. I was really happy with them. But pushing myself that bit further, having that on the wall, reminded myself of my I can attitude. And I told myself every single day, I will get that. Look at that number, I want that number to be 1 more higher. I'm so happy with that 9, I'm going to keep it that way. I'm so happy with that 8, I'm going to keep it that way. It's just the positive reinforcement, having something there just made sure that I didn't have those days. Oh, well, everyone has those days, but I had less of them when I was just like, God, well, I'm never going to get there. If I get there, then it'd be great, but, I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't. And obviously you don't want to beat yourself up, but push yourself. Tip number 3 is planning. So I have spoken about this previously. I've made a video on how to plan your school life, but in a nutshell, it helps you so much when it comes to organisation and also your mindset, which I've talked about in the last point. So it keeps your head clear because it's all down on a piece of paper. You've not got a million different things floating around in your head. And I still use this tip today. At the end of each week, I'll have a mind dump where I just put everything down on a sheet of paper and I try and like sort it out into some order. And I know that planning can sometimes be a form of procrastination if you think, oh, I'm going to plan this for half an hour and then never actually get around to doing it. But set aside 5 minutes to go, right, okay, for this half an hour I'm going to do this, for this half an hour I'm going to do this subject, and break down your day and just help yourself be a little bit more organised. It's going to help you so much. Tip number 4, don't forget or don't be afraid to ask for help. So if you don't get a subject or a topic in that subject, go and ask your teacher as soon as you can. Do not be one of those people, and I was the one of those people doing it in year 10, and then when it got to year 11 I was like, right, I need to sort this out. I would, say if I was revising at home, I would pick up a subject that or a topic that I didn't understand. I'd be like, okay, I'll ask that later. Oh, I'll save that till later. And then it got to the end of year 10 and we did mocks and I was like, oh, I still don't understand it. And then I was fretting around trying to ask all my teachers like, help, how do I do this? How do I do this? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Ask as soon as you can. It'll help so you don't forget what you need help with later on, but also give you peace of mind and you'll learn it straight away instead of procrastinating. And then at the end of the year or the end of the term, you're going to have this huge bank of things that you don't particularly know very well, and you're going to be really stressing because you don't want to be focusing on all those things. You want to be thinking, right, okay, well, I didn't understand that, but now my teacher's explained it to me. I do. I didn't understand that. My teacher's explained it to me. I do. It's a lot easier. It just takes you going up to the teacher and asking. Even drop them an email if you don't want to, talk in person. But they are more than happy to help. That's what they're there for. They want to be able to help you. Leading on from that point about the teachers, tip number 5, I almost did 4 then. 5 is respect your teachers. So I know that there's going to be those teachers that you just really don't get along with, and there might be those times where even your most favourite teachers set you work that you think is pointless. I don't want this to sound as like the goody two shoes, but respect your teachers. They are doing everything for a reason. If you've been given a piece of homework that you think is pointless, that homework is set because your teacher thinks it's going to be helpful. And if you feel like it's too easy, then ask your teacher for something more challenging. If you think it's too challenging, ask your teacher for help. See where you can go from there. Obviously, this leads a lot on from tip number 4. But basically, respect your teachers. They know what they're doing. Occasionally you might think, I hate this teacher. Why am I sat here? But you never know. You might pick up something really valuable that you wouldn't if you just discarded that. Tip number 6. Practice, practice, practice. So this can go for almost every subject again. So practice your art skills. I was an art student and you needed to practice almost every single day to develop your skills. Practice papers for science, maths, geography, history, whatever, I don't know. Anything that has exam style questions, practice them for. Practice essays for English or history or any other subject that requires you to write an essay. Your essay writing skills are really important, and especially if you're going into A-level, they might be really important there as well. Practice essays are great, just like practice questions for an exam. Please don't neglect them. Or even practice speaking for, say, French. I did French. Or, any sort of languages or anything that requires you to speak. So your English language speaking exam. Practice speaking, practice public speaking, your pronunciation of the foreign language, maybe how you flow from one word to another in the foreign language, because I know it can sometimes sound like a robot's talking. Think about your expression. All of this sort of stuff lies under the umbrella of practice, and it is so important, and that is essentially what revision is. You're practicing your knowledge, you're practicing your skills. So don't neglect the different ways you can practice. I've said that word way too many times now. Moving on. Number 7, prioritization. So this is where self-discipline comes in. So, I'm just going to give you an example. Is that show that goes on till midnight really important? Can it wait? Can you record it or save it or watch it on Netflix later on? Is it really important to your life right now? Is it really, really beneficial? And yes, I know that, taking a break and giving your mind some relaxed time is really important. But those shows can be the death of your revision. If you don't have some sort of self-discipline when it comes to prioritizing your tasks, then it can be really hard to get everything done. And you can link that into your organization and your planning. Plan out time where you're going to watch that movie or watch that TV show or whatever you want to do. But, you know, prioritize revision, that TV show, which one's more important, especially if you've got, you know, homework due for the next day or a test. Put your phone away, put the TV remote away, whatever's going to distract you, get it out of your eyesight and focus on what needs to be done first. Now you also need to prioritise your work. So I've talked about this in, especially my science video, I think it was. You know, you need to prioritise which piece of work is going to be more beneficial to you. So for me, is writing out the whole notebook or the whole revision guide into my own notebook for every single science subject necessary? No. Is that piece of homework that was due tomorrow and you've left it until the last minute a priority? Yes. So filter through your work, and it might help you declutter a little bit more. So you might be piling on all these unnecessary tasks. Think about how much is actually going to benefit you. What's going to happen if it's not going to get done? If it's, you know, you're not going to do so well on a test, then maybe it's a priority. But if it's nothing, then think about why you're doing it or why you think you need to do it. Number 8. No, that's right. Number 8. Getting into school early. So I know that might seem like a huge task that you just don't want to deal with, but for me it was just something that I'd always had to do because my bus arrived at 8 o'clock, my school started at 8:35. I had 35 minutes to kill, and I would use that to either talk with my friends. Sometimes you gotta have downtime, or I would read through some textbooks that, you know, I was going to be using that day, some revision guides. I would maybe complete some homework that was due for a couple of days' time. I would, you know, just refresh myself with whatever I needed to do for that, you know, what I was going to be covering in the lessons, or even do some artwork because I was always behind in that, still am. Just something in life really when you're an art student. Anyway, getting into school early can be a really great way to have that extra pocket of time that we were talking about earlier. So you've now got that 30 minutes. What you're going to do in that 30 minutes, you're probably going to do a lot more than say if you're at home, because at home you've got more distractions, you're comfy, you're like, well, I'll just sleep in for another 10 minutes and that turns into 15, 20, we've all done it. But in school you're more in a study environment. You might be able to get some more stuff done. And now, number 9, and I can count that on my fingers, sleep. Pretty self-explanatory. Staying up until 3 in the morning every single day is not going to help you get grade 9s. If you can't take care of yourself, like if you can't take care of your body, then how do you expect yourself to work at your most optimal rate? How do you expect your mind to be able to process everything when it's still half asleep and still dreaming about your pillow? So having a good sleep schedule, making sure that you're turning off your phone or you're putting it across the room. I put mine across the room when it's going on charge. So A, that means I don't get up to look at it in the middle of the night, and B, it means that when I get up in the morning I have to get up my bed to turn my alarm off, and then I'm up and ready. Sleep. Please sleep. It is very important. No matter how much work you have to do, sleep is a priority. We've talked about priorities earlier. It may be that you need to do a few bits of work before you go to sleep. You know, that might be beneficial, but sleep is up there. Right, they were the 9 things that I did to get straight 8s and 9s through my GCSEs. So hopefully they are beneficial to you. I really hope that if you're in mock season right now, I hope they're going okay. I know it's a stressful time, but they're really useful to see what you need to improve on. So best of luck with those mocks. I'm sure you're going to do amazing. And please subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean so much. And give this video a like if you really enjoyed it, and comment if I've missed anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!